guys, Jim here. Really appreciate you stopping by. It is Friday, TGIF. I hope you all had a great week and I hope you have a wonderful weekend to come. Today, I want to share with you guys the very first baseball card that I ever owned. But before I do that, I did get a couple of things in the mail from a couple of wonderful YouTubers that I want to share with you guys real quick. First off, I got an envelope in the mail that came unexpectedly from my friend Tony, TB's TTM Autographs here on YouTube. And Tony's just a great guy. Of course, by the channel name, he is very into TTMing or through the mail autograph requests. And he sent me a couple of wonderful photos that he took and copied and sent me along a couple of the copies. And so here is a beautiful night shot of Fenway Park. Just awesome. Really beautiful photo. And he also sent this beautiful photo of Wrigley Field. Man, that is just an awesome shot with the clouds and the skyline in the background. Totally awesome. And in his little note that he sent me, he said, Picker Jim thought my pictures of Fenway and Wrigley might look cool with some ink on them. And I would have to agree with you, Tony. These cards definitely would look good with some autographs. And I might send these out to a few people that I have in mind and see if we can get some autographs on them. But thank you very much, Tony. I really appreciate that. Like I said, Tony's just a great guy. And so next up, I got a little package in the mail from Mike over at Mike's Mr. October and More here on YouTube. And Mike's another great guy. Judging by the name of his YouTube channel, he is a big fan of Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. He's a Yankee fan. And he's just an all-around baseball fan. And he's a true collector. Just loves the cards for what they are, loves them for the memories that they bring to him, like many of us that collect the same way, and just a true collector and a nice guy to boot. So he sent me a little package here, and what he did was he made a custom Jello card, kind of going off the Jello cards that were issued in the 1960s. And Mike knows I'm a Yaz fan, so he made this custom Yaz Jello card. Just an awesome photo there of Yaz at the plate. And like I said, it's a Jello card. So I thought that was pretty cool. My very own one-of-one Yaz Jello card. So in addition to that, he also sent me along some other cards. Here is Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. Another Reggie. 88 Topps All-Star of Roger Clemens. 1990 Topps Dwight Evans. Mo Vaughn. 87 Topps Rich Gedman. There's Ryan Express, Nolan Ryan. These Flair cards are great. Fred Lynn, these are great looking cards. Carlton Fisk. And then we've got some Studio, Wade Boggs, Greg Harris, Tim Nearing, Tony Pena, Jody Reed, Phil Plantier, Frank Viola, and Mo Vaughn. So pretty cool bunch of Red Sox cards for the collection. So thank you very much, Mike. Thank you very much, Tony. If you're not familiar with either one of these guys, the link to the channels will be in the description as always. And so now I would like to share with you guys the very first baseball card that I ever owned. Flashback to 1973 or 1974. I was about 5 or 6 years old. And my father, he had a little side hustle where he would get cars that didn't run, just cars that were junk or whatever, and he would buy them very, very inexpensively, or even sometimes, many times, people would have them sitting in their yards and they just want to get rid of them. They would actually give him the cars for free. And he would get them, take them home, tear them apart, figure out what's wrong with them, fix them up and resell them. And he did that for many, many years. But this one particular time, what he would do is he would go to well, we called them junk yards back in the day. I think they call them salvage yards or scrap yards nowadays. But basically, he would go to these salvage yards or junk yards, and he would find, cars that were the same or similar to what he was working on. Whatever he needed for parts, he would go in there with his tools and take the parts, and he would be able to buy the parts very, very cheap, and use them to fix up the cars that he was working on. And on several occasions, he would take me with him. And on this one particular occasion, I was 5 or 6 years old. It was great. I had a fun time. Obviously, I wasn't helping him work on the cars, so I would be just running around, climbing on the cars, climbing in the cars. And for a little kid like that, a young guy, it was just a lot of fun. And of course, you're with your dad, so that whatever you do, you didn't care at that age anyway. But this one particular time, I was crawling through this car, and I found a baseball card, and I thought it was, really cool, and I decided to keep it. I took it home with me, and put it in my G.I. Joe box, because at the time I didn't collect baseball cards, but I did collect the G.I. I had the G.I. Joes, and I didn't really collect them. I played with them, but my uncle had them when he was young, and he gave them to me when he got older, and I was just a young kid, so he gave me his G.I. Joes. They were the old ones, the big ones that were like a foot long with the different clothes that you could change their clothes and stuff like that. And then there was this little wooden Foot Locker that you could keep everything in. So I just put my baseball card that I had just found in my little G.I. Joe Foot Locker with my G.I. Joes. And then 2 or 3 years later, I started getting into sports, getting into baseball, and I still had the card. And then I started collecting, and this card went in with my other cards. And I had it for I had this card. I just had it, and over the last few years, I've thought about it several times. I had no idea what became of it, and I thought I probably didn't have it anymore. But recently, I have a lot of time on my hands because at my mom's taking care of her. I'm here 20 hours a day, more sometimes, and so I've just got a lot of time on my hands. So I decided to start doing some through the mail autograph requests, and I'll have more on that coming up very soon. But I'm looking through a lot of boxes, finding cards of guys that signed through the mail and stuff like that. And I've been looking through some boxes that I haven't looked through in years. And lo and behold, I found my card. I found the first card I ever owned. And so without any further ado, here it is. 1973 Topps, Jim Nash. And as you can tell by the condition, this card is unique by the way it's stained and worn. So it's not like I could just find a 73 Topps Jim Nash card and think that maybe that's the first card, because the staining and everything like that, this is definitely the card. So there it is, 73 Topps Jim Nash, and here's the back. The staining is even worse. I really don't care. I found this card. It brought a big smile to my face. Brought back a lot of memories of my dad going to the junkyards, climbing around the cars, and hanging out with my father on the weekends, and just really cool to have this card. So just wanted to share that with you guys, and that's all I got. Talk to y'all soon, guys. Bye for now.